This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but you're encouraged to like and share them on social media. It's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World in downtown Fort Pierce and hosted by Joanne Augusto.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's doing great this morning. Unfortunately, I'm not doing so good this morning. I did some really silly things over the last 48 hours, and
You mean just like the rest of us?
oh, right, I know. And what I think is so kind of hysterical is that my amazing guest that will be on today, she used to help me out years ago on the show whenever, like, because it's when I was trying to get pregnant with Elena and had all this drama happen. And, Leslie was my backup girl. She'd do the show by herself because she's so smart, so amazing, inside and out. And so here I've been doing so good, nothing wrong, like everything's been great. And then all of a sudden I lifted my daughter's bike. And this thing was a lot heavier than it looks, and whatever I did, I just tweaked my neck where I can't even swallow without pain, and I can't look in either direction. So let's just say as soon as I get to my store, I got my Curamin pain relief ready for me. I got my infrared sauna, my appointment with the chiropractor, but of course I had to be here. And so good morning, Leslie.
I love you, Joanne, and I'm so sorry that happened. I hope we're going to shine some light and energy and healing your way.
Oh, please do. Send it all my way. Send the big jets.
Right?
Oh, gosh. Hey, girl, I'm embarrassed, but what is the last name you're going by these days?
I am currently Leslie Larson Leatherman. So Leatherman is my new name. Not only did I move to the Smokey Mountains, I found a wonderful mountain man that does chainsaw carving and arts and got married last year.
Wow, girl, you've got a lot going on. I love all your Facebook posts showing you and the dogs and the horses out with the brooks and the water and the leaves. I mean, it's like I almost want to cry with every one of your posts. Like, I love her life. It's so amazing.
As a native Floridian, because my daughter's third generation native Floridian, I picked up and moved to the Smoky Mountains, and I can tell all of you in that listening area probably are northerners that moved down to escape the cold. Well, this southerner Floridian moved up to the mountains so she could finally experience 4 seasons.
And any great regrets, or are you loving it?
Not at all. I love it. It's rainy and misty and cold here today, but winter is coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so
rainy, misty, and cold sounds a little depressing to me.
It's beautiful, though. I love it because you get 4 seasons. It's like you have to embrace everything in life.
Yeah, but I was going to say, Leslie, you make anything positive. I mean, it could be, a tornado over your house, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, all is well. So it's
we
all
needed
good.
The leaves picked up, or the lawn furniture needed to be redecorated, right?
There you go. There we go. Redo the back patio. Well, I've always loved you from the first moment I've met you. You are the most beautiful, positive, just amazing woman. And I am just so glad that we're back on the air together, and wait until all the listeners. I'm hoping some of the oldies are listening to hear you again, because you used to cover for me a lot back years ago before Elena was born.
Absolutely. And there's new information. There's some reiteration of old things, but there's new information out there in research. The studies keep piling up on the power of plants and the power of botanicals, which the ancients have known, right? When you look at botanical medicine, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And even the first agricultural crop was actually hemp 12,000 years ago in the Neolithic age, was one of the first agricultural crops. And you look at curcumin, and it's 6,000 years old.
That's amazing. And
right?
I love when people are like, oh, is this stuff safe? But, they'll pop all their pharmaceutical drugs that were just created 90 days ago.
Yes, right? They're popping things like Tylenol that are killing, 17,000 Americans a year. They're tanking their glutathione in their liver, and you hand them a bottle of Curamin, and they're like, can I take this? You're like, can you eat it in an Indian restaurant?
Right.
If you can eat it at an Indian
and
restaurant.
And I got to tell you,
this.
I mean, I'm so glad that we're doing the show, but I can't wait to get to my store and get Curamin. When I realized after the whole, yanking of the neck muscles happened, that I didn't have cumin at home. I cried. I mean,
Oh.
because I don't know if you remember, but I had 4 surgeries done last year, and the doctor really wanted me to do pain meds, and I was like, oh no, I got my cumin. I never touched one pain pill. I only did cumin the whole entire time, so I swear by that stuff.
You don't need it when you have those things on board. And
Yeah.
like I picked up working out again this week. I mean, and the cumin is not even great for when you tweak your neck or have a backache or a neck ache or an injury or something happen. But I hit the weights pretty hard and hit my legs pretty hard with weightlifting on Monday. And I forgot to take my cumin ahead of time. So yesterday I was starting to do the shuffle, right, of the legs hurting and
Yeah.
popped in 3 cumin and good to go. And I'm like, how do people live without this?
I know.
Cumin has proven clinical research in the thoroughbred horse racing industry where the horses were shown to have better physical recovery with the cumin formulation on board and movement of lactic acid. And it even prevents what we call DOMS. DOMS is like delayed onset muscle soreness. So that muscle soreness I got yesterday and today wiped away with a cumin product. If I had taken it preventatively, I never would have experienced it. But the beautiful thing is, taking it after it happens, within an hour, I was as good as gold.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to pop. I'm probably going to pop 3 of them. So since we're on this subject, which is the most important subject, there's so much confusion about turmeric and what its components are and which one
No
to
doubt.
buy. And then when we have a lot of loyal people that still come in and see the Curamed and Curamin and still to this day get confused. So can you start, with basically the whole turmeric world and what it means for Curamed and Curamin?
Absolutely. And since I've talked to you last, you're going to love my new word I've come up with. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
We've got turmeric, curcumin, curamin, curamed. I'm confused.
Oh, I love it. You're so adorable.
So
Aw.
let's clear up confusion. And so let's
Okay.
start first with turmeric versus curcumin. Turmeric is the whole root. Turmeric has been used in India for over 6,000 years. They use it in Ayurvedic medicine, and they use it daily in their kitchens. If you live in India, in your kitchen, you are consuming up to 2 spice jars in our country of turmeric a day. 2 spice jars a day. And you've been doing this for over 6,000 years, so it's a fat-soluble nutrient. So the majority of households in India take about a cup of turmeric and boil it in ghee, clarified butter, for fats. But they boil it, Joanne, for 2 to 3 hours.
Holy
to
moly.
create, right? And then they've got this bright orange paste of this ghee turmeric combination. And then they take that paste and they throw it in the skillet at every meal. They've been eating like this their entire life. I mean, think about toddlers. They start eating solid food. They're eating at the same table. They've done this their whole life, so much so that at the time of death, someone on the traditional Indian diet in India, at autopsy, the base of their brain, the hippocampus of their brain, is
Right?
tinted orange.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Tinted orange. And in India, they have a 70% lower incidence of Alzheimer's today than we do in this country. In India, they have a significantly lower incidence of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes than we do in this country. And it's not because they've got a cleaner country. It's not because they've got better access to medicine and supplies and sanitation. It's because of their turmeric-rich diet. And we see that in America, and all these people are putting turmeric in everything. But which one of us listening or which one of us on the show today is going to consume 2 spice jars a day?
No, if I eat Indian food once a month, it's like, woo, I love it. But
Right?
yeah, that's like, okay.
And so if you're not going to eat from the time of a toddler until the time of death, and you're not going to eat properly prepared turmeric, 2 spice jars a day, in comes curcumin. So turmeric is the whole root. Curcumin is only 2 to 5% of the root. but curcumin is the active ingredient. It's what makes it orange. It's the power of the root, right? And when you extract it, so many people think, oh, it's an isolate, or I need the whole root, right? There's some kind of synergy in the whole root. I don't want just an isolate. It's not an isolate. It's a vinegar extraction method, and it pulls the curcuminoids out with 112 molecules intact. It's 3 different curcuminoids and 112 different molecules, multiple pathways in the body, and that curcumin is affecting every single inflammation pathway in your body. We talk about inflammation like it's number one pathway. It's not. It's 8 to 9. We talk about it like it's a bad thing. It's not. You need a healthy inflammation response. Think of inflammation like the water in the river. And if you have chronic silent inflammation, which causes 80 to 90% of all disease states, that inflammation is like a flood. Taking a pharmaceutical is like snipping an enzymatic pathway creates a drought, a shortage. A botanical like curcumin is able to bring the water back to the right level and bring balance, a healthy inflammation response, right?
That's a great visual. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
there's a
inflammation's
reason
not
why
a
we
bad
have,
thing.
yeah, exactly. Just like cholesterol, there's a reason we have things in our body. We just got to keep it under control.
Yes, in check. It's the silent chronic inflammation that's the killer. Healthy inflammation is your friend. But botanicals will not ever drive your inflammation too low. They just bring it to the right level again so your body can function. They're adaptable like that, right? They adjust. They bring balance or homeostasis to the body. So turmeric is the whole root. Curcumin is the active ingredient, but here's the problem. If that turmeric needed 2 to 3 hours of fat boiling to get absorbed and needs 2 spice jars a day, well, when you take the curcumin from the turmeric root, it's also poorly absorbed by the body. Remember, it doesn't matter what you eat, drink, or take. It only matters what you absorb. Right?
Yeah,
And
totally.
so this company in India figured out a way to mock the Indian diet. And what they did is they take a clean turmeric root, a clean vinegar extraction method, take these 3 different curcuminoids, and now they take the essential oils from the turmeric root, turmerones, and they combine it with the curcuminoids. So they've got just enough of the essential oils in there to mimic the Indian diet to enhance the absorption of the curcumin, so you get the power absorbed through your intestines, through your cell membranes, and through the blood-brain barrier, which is the tightest barrier. But here's the cool thing. Number one, they own the patent for this. Arjuna Corporation owns the patent for essential oils and curcuminoids, so nobody else can do it. So it's exclusive to the Terry Naturally family of products. Number 2, they're using essential oils. Essential oils of the turmeric root, the turmerones, guess what? They've got clinical research and medicinal benefits in the body all on their own, their own. And so we're using something that's good for you to enhance something, the absorption of something else that's good for you. And guess what? They work synergistically better together. So if you look, and people are like, oh, essential oils are the essence. I just need the essential oil. That's all the goodness of the plant. So let's clear that up really quick. It is not everything. It matters how you extract things gives you different properties. Like let's take, for example, anti-tumor studies. The turmerones will cause an anti-tumor activity in a clinical study, a reduction of about 72%.
That's
the
amazing.
curcuminoids.
Can
Isn't
you
that
say
amazing?
that again? Because, I want listeners to really hear what you just said, because that is huge.
The essential oils of the turmeric root have anti-tumor research that shows a reduction in a cell study of tumors at about 72%.
Beautiful.
And the curcuminoids have anti-tumor research that shows a reduction of about 63%. But here's the exciting part. When you combine the two, it's 100%. And then when you look at things like inflammation, curcuminoids are a little bit better on their own as an anti-inflammatory than the turmerones, but we use the turmerones to get the curcuminoids in. Make sense?
Yes.
And so it's not that the essential oils are better and you can just use them. It's the essential oils work synergistically with the curcuminoids. And I liken it like this. They take different pathways or different roads to their journey and destination. And so they're working in different areas of the body. So essential oils are a key absorption that aids the curcumin, but also synergistically works on those benefits as well. So that brings us to turmeric is the whole root, curcumin is the active ingredient, but curcumin with essential oils enhance absorption. And that's why on the side panel of the Cura Med product, you'll see that graph with that picture of one soft gel of curcumin with essential oils, our Cura Med, equals 500 capsules of turmeric. 500.
I know.
Right?
I love when people are bringing in, their other products that they get, and I show them that picture. They're like, oh, boy, I much rather take this one.
Right, take one versus 500. They're like, oh, that one's, a little bit more expensive. I'm like, is it more expensive than 500 times its quantity?
Right.
No, it's a few dollars more expensive. And time is money. And it's a results-driven formulation. Terry Naturally is all about results-driven supplementation to supplement your lifestyle. There is a money-back guarantee on everything. But here's the deal. Money's not everything. Time is money. If you work as a laborer or you've got children or you're a caregiver and you've got pain and inflammation and you cannot do what you need to do, that's money, right?
Oh, my God. I'm a perfect example. Matt has had to wait on me hand and foot and all the kids and the dogs and the house. I mean, right now he brought me to the station, has to bring me to work. And I
Yep.
mean, literally, this is from, lifting a bike and a neck strain. Like, I can't imagine
Game
people
changer.
that live in chronic pain. It's
Chronic pain.
It's horrible. I mean, why? I don't understand why anyone would not try this because, like you said, it's money back guarantee, and if it does work, wow! Like, why wouldn't
Exactly.
you? Yeah.
So let's talk about two more things really quickly because I know we've got a break coming up.
Okay.
Turmeric versus curcumin. So turmeric is the whole root, curcumin's the active ingredient. People will say there's synergy in the whole root. And I look at them like, what do you think there's missing? Because they think it's an isolate. I'm like, the only two studied ingredients of the entire turmeric root are the turmerones, which are the essential oils, and the curcuminoids. And they're both in there. So you're not missing anything but fiber, right? And then the second major point is that people will come in and there's so much confusion of black pepper enhancing absorption of curcumin and turmeric. And they come in all the time like, I need black pepper. I'm like, okay, to enhance absorption? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, there's actually no clinical evidence of black pepper enhancing the absorption of the curcumin or the turmeric root. But there is research on the extract of black pepper. So keep in mind, this isn't black pepper. So if the label says black pepper, no clinical evidence. But if the label says bioperine or biopiperine, that's the concentrated extract of the black pepper. But here's the way it looks. It brings the curcumin up to a point at hour 2, and then the curcumin drops back out of the body almost immediately, right? So it goes up, stays maybe for 10 or 15 minutes, and then drops back down. If you use essential oils instead of the concentrated extract of the black pepper, the essential oils are able to bring the curcumin into the body, and it hangs for 8 to 10 hours, a half a day, and then it goes out. And so I'm like, which would you rather have, a half a day or a moment in time? And the essential oils, and again, we're not here to diagnose, treat, or cure, and I'm not your pharmacist for contraindications, so check with your pharmacist. But I can tell you, I've checked with pharmacists across the country, and I've looked at pharmacists, and I've said, essential oils and curcumin, contraindications and drug interactions, and they're like, no. I'm like, come on, come in and more, friend. And they're like, no, different pathways, but check with your pharmacist. I'm not your doctor, and I'm not your pharmacist. And then I look at those same pharmacists. I'm like, what if I use the extract of black pepper to enhance the curcumin? They're like, contraindications and drug interactions. Say what? And so the extract of black pepper is contraindicated because it enhances the absorption of everything you're taking, medicines included. And so it is contraindicated because they can't control the dosages because it creates gaps in the gut, like a leaky gut, right? And so you need to be aware that all curcumin supplementation is not created equal. And so be very, very careful who you partner with. And that's why you go to Joanne's World of Nutrition. That's why you partner with Terry Naturally, because time is money. And clean, effective, high-quality supplementation is a game changer in you having the energy, life, and vitality that you need to to be the best you that you can be, right? To take care of your kids, your spouse, your dog, your parents, and your work.
Oh, so well put, Leslie. And Leslie, so now you definitely, cleared up a lot of the confusion when it comes to the right turmeric product to use, or the curcumin. And I'm still using the word turmeric only because a lot of people recognize that word, sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So now they come in my store and they see the beautiful Curamed, and then right next to it, Curamin. Can you I think we have, are you still on the same time frame as us? We got about 3 minutes to break.
About 3 minutes, exactly.
All right.
3 minutes to break.
Great. So
okay,
if we could do the
perfusion.
difference.
You ready?
Yep.
Turmeric is the whole root. Curcumin is the active ingredient. Curamed is a single ingredient product that just has the highest potency of curcumin on the market today, 500 milligrams. So it is a single ingredient. It's just curcumin. Curamin is a 4-ingredient formulation that was designed for pain. So here's my snippet, and we'll go deeper into Boswellia and the 4-ingredient formulation after the break. But here's the deal. All pain is inflammation, Curamin. But not all inflammation has pain, Curamed. Let me say it one more time because I messed it up. All pain is inflammation, Curamin. But not all inflammation has pain, Curamed. And Curamed should be one of your core supplements that you take every day. Terry, after over 45 years, 400 formulations will tell you if he had to pick one ingredient and go on an island and survive, he would take with him our curcumin with the essential oils, BCM 95, now known as Curcugreen. He would take that Curamed, that one product, because it does so many things on so many pathways in your body and sustains you and supports healthy function of every organ and pathway. So Curamed should be right up there with your probiotic, your multivitamin, your omega-3, right? It should be something that you are taking every day. And it is what all the clinical research is on when you see BCM 95. That's our Curamed product. So that's your base. Curamin is when you have pain, whether it's acute pain, like, I worked out, you tweaked your neck, or whether it's chronic pain. So situationally or ongoing pain, Curamin, and Curamin is safe to take with the Curamed, or you can take either of them by themselves.
Okay.
Does that help the perfusion?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like in my situation, if I go to my store right now and get my Curamin bottle that I keep safely under the counter, can I take 3 of them right now? Would you do that for pain relief?
I would take 3 to 6. I mean, there's a doctor in Canada that he gives his pain patients a loading dose of 6 capsules of the regular right out the door and has an 80% success rate in 1 hour.
Wow.
So,
all right. I'm taking 6. I got this.
Take 6.
Yeah.
Right? And then after that, take 3 twice a day till you feel better.
Yeah, after my surgeries, I just played it safe and I just pop 1 an hour almost.
There you go.
So, yeah, that
there
way, because, they always say do it before the pain starts. So, yeah, but, and so shows the safety. And I know that Terry has really spent a lot of time making the Curamed in different forms. So vegans can use it, children can use it, the syrups,
Absolutely.
So it's safe for everybody then.
Absolutely. Now, I will clarify when we come back from the break.
Okay.
The Curamed comes in the vegan, comes in the soft gels, comes in a syrup. It's safe for dogs, horses, children. Anybody that can eat at an Indian restaurant can do the Curamed. But if you're in pain, if you're pregnant, nursing, or a child, I would stick with the Curamed and not the Curamin.
Okay. So
Okay.
So when we get back from the break, we'll go over Curamin in more details, what the other 3 ingredients are that make it so miraculous. And enjoy the break time, and we'll be back in just a few.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history. encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
Guiding the Treasure Coast in health, one person at a time. That's their motto at Joanne's Nutrition World, Suite 121, in the historic arcade building on US 1, downtown Fort Pierce. Joanne brings more than 25 years of experience in the natural health industry, right here to you. Take advantage of this free personal guide to wellness and good health. Meet with Joanne herself and get started. Nutrition World always provides you with the hottest new product lines, natural and homeopathic remedies, herbals, and best of all, expert advice from the people who care. Call Joanne at 464-3598, 464-3598, and learn the correlation between diet and great health. Stop in today. The expert guidance to health is always free at Nutrition World. Nutrition World, Suite 121 in the Arcade Building, US 1, downtown Fort Pierce.
Staying healthy is hard work. There's exercise and eating right. We need to drink more water and get more sleep. Wouldn't it be great if there were just one small thing, something simple and healthy and natural that could make a big difference in our lives? Well, there is. It's called Cell Power, and it's the easiest all-natural supplement that I have ever tried. Cell Power for more oxygen. That helps my exercise and my sleep. Cell Power for better absorption. Now my food and vitamins, minerals, and herbs can get to the cellular level. I'm adding Cell Power to my daily routine. It's a small thing that will make a big difference. Cell Power is available at all the best health food stores and natural health clinics. For more information, call toll-free 1-877-CELL-POWER. That's 1-877-CELL-POWER. You'll love it, guaranteed, or your money back. Ask for Cell Power today at your local health food store. Remember, Cell Power.
Are you back yet, Leslie? Hey, Leslie. Oh, you're back. Okay, just checking to make sure, because after the weather, we're coming back to you, okay? All right, stand by. Here we go.
772-466-2400.
Scattered rainfall will move across the area this afternoon here on the Treasure Coast, and some of it will be heavy in spots. During the late afternoon, skies will begin to clear from north to south as a cold front finishes moving through. High temperatures will reach the low 80s today, but temperatures will begin to drop pretty quickly during the late afternoon and evening hours, and winds will become cool and gusty out of the northwest. Tonight, low temperatures in the 50s with a wind chill.
Weather this hour is brought to you by Seacoast Air Conditioning, your hometown air conditioning company since 1982. For repairs or a whole new system, call 772-466-2400.
Comfort crisis? Don't roast. Call Seacoast.
We now return to Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World. Very nutritious. And back to Joanne and Leslie.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. Today I feel blessed and grateful to have my friend Leslie for many, many years on the show with us. Leslie, now a mountain girl, married to a mountain man, walking dogs and horses out in this misty, cool weather.
Did she say Leatherman?
Yes, Larson Leatherman. What a cool name. You
Sounds
that's
like a
why
mountain
you
man name.
This is why she married him. It's like, hey, what's your name? Oh, it's Jim Bob Leatherman. Okay, you're mine.
Okay.
Greg
wait,
Leatherman.
Greg,
That's my man.
Greg, I love it. Well, I'm so happy you're happy because you deserve it. And and you know what? It just shows us, we were talking about inflammation and things to fight it. And we kind of, it would be a whole show just to talk about the causes of inflammation. But I really want to stress to the audience, like how we mentioned the pain I'm in from, straining oneself. But inflammation, the kind that's the silent one, that's, lifestyle based, stress, alcohol, just not exercising enough, excess weight. That's the type of inflammation that we really want to be careful about, because it's silent inflammation that causes, the deadly diseases. So even if you feel great right now and you're waking up and you're like, oh, well, I don't have pain in my fingers or my toes and I don't have arthritis, that does not mean you don't don't have inflammation. So really pay attention here, because the Cure Med is definitely should be a staple of your core supplement use to make sure you're protecting your cells and your brain, and keeping that inflammatory process working, but not overworking. And that's what it's about. It's about, just like I always stress, it's about the balance, body, mind, spiritual. It all has to work together in balance. So
that's exactly right. And that's exactly why I say pain is a gift. I know you're not feeling that way today, Joanne.
Yeah, I don't know. I just said I really like you, Leslie, but now I'm not so sure. Okay.
Pain is a gift. Why do I say pain is a gift? Because silent inflammation is the killer, right?
Yes, it's
I mean,
true.
how many people with even Parkinson's and dementia and Alzheimer's and heart attacks and strokes and cancer,
no
those
warnings.
things didn't happen overnight. They've been brewing for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that it's silent inflammation is creeping along, and that's why curcumin is the staple. It is one of your base supplements. The beauty is it comes in so many different forms. I know when you walk into Joanne's World of Nutrition, you're going to see Cure Med in 4 or 5 different strengths and varieties today. And so that's because we've got the really, really powerful one at 750, which delivers the most curcumin on the market at 500 milligrams, matches all the research studies and all the goodness you see. We've actually got 50 PubMed peer-reviewed studies on file today. And so 19 of them are human studies. Amazingly researched ingredient. That's your potency.
And I have all the books and info if anyone wants to read about it. I have it all at the store for free.
Yep. And then it goes all the way down from a half size to a vegan to a syrup. And so because 40% of Americans can't swallow soft gels, capsules, and tablets. So if you're listening today and you're thinking, that all sounds great, but I have difficulty swallowing and I cannot get these supplements into your body, we hear you. Terry has heard you. There is a syrup that is not a bad tasting syrup.
It's not at all. It's very nice tasting. Yeah.
Exactly. And it is, safe. I mean, check with your doctor, but safe for feeding tubes, safe to mix in smoothies, to bump up your golden milk. It's very versatile. Safe to top off on dog's food, on the horse food, even though we've got horse and dog products now. So many delivery methods, right?
Right.
But here's the deal. Remember, all botanicals are not created equal, and all extracts and supplements are not created equal. When you look at a plant can have 12 to 2,400 different varieties, grown in different parts of the world, different properties. Even the same plant grown in the same soil year after year can have different properties. And then couple that with what part of the plant did I extract from? Leaves, roots, stems, what is it? And what extraction method did I use? So it's partnering with the right people that are guaranteeing results, so you know you've got a clean and effective, correct extraction and bioavailability in that supplement, so you can get the results that you're expecting. It's not like rolling the dice in Vegas. It's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, true.
So you're going to get what you're looking for. And that's so true with our other ingredient we want to talk about today, which is boswellia.
Oh, love it.
Right? When you look at boswellia has been around thousands and thousands of years also, right? Remember, frankincense is boswellia. And so gold, frankincense, and myrrh were the gifts, right? And so, if it's been around thousands of years and it's got tons of research all around the world, Boswellia serrata is the most medicinally recognized of the boswellia tree species. So it's a tree, and it's the resin of the tree, and you can use a traditional extraction method or an essential oil extraction method of these resins. And so if it's so popular all over the world, it's been in this country on the shelves for decades, probably 30, 40 or more years. But Joanne, you've been around for a while too, just like me. I mean, has boswellia ever really been popular in this country as far as a supplement?
Never.
No. I call it dust on the bottle, right?
Yeah,
it's been
totally.
sitting there, but there's dust on the bottle because nobody's using it. Here's the reason why. When you look at boswellia extracts in this country, it will say on the side label, total boswellic acids standardized at 65 to 69%. For those of you listening, standardization means the percent of the active ingredient included within the total milligram you're seeing on that label. So when you see 65 to 69%, you think this is awesome, right? But unfortunately, with boswellia, total boswellic acids include pro-inflammatory beta and anti-inflammatory ACPA. And so there's two different kinds of boswellic acids in there. One's pro and one's anti. Now, if they don't tell you the percentages of those specific boswellic acids, then it's the American norm, which is this: 17% pro, less than 1% anti. See the problem?
Oh, yeah.
I've got 17 times the pro-inflammatory action of the anti-inflammatory action. More pro than anti. We all need anti-inflammatory. None of us really needs any help with our omega-6 loaded diet with inflammation, right?
Right.
And so we need more anti-inflammatories. What makes Terry's Boswellia special is he gets it from the same company in India, where they have guaranteed so that you get more anti-inflammatory than pro. So they take the pro beta from 17 to less than 5, and they take the anti-inflammatory ACPA from less than 1 to greater than 10. It's usually around 11, but it's always greater than 10. So you've got 10 times the anti-inflammatory action and less than a third of the pro, but most importantly, you've got more anti than pro. So it's doing what it needs to do. And why is that so important? Because we didn't dive in as much today, but if you've heard us talk before, you've looked at curcumin, you're like, well, why do I need Boswellia? Because doesn't curcumin do everything? Curcumin works on every pathway, every system in the body. Well, curcumin does work on all 8 to 9 inflammation pathways with a strength in a pathway we call the COX-2, but it has a very weak action in one of the pathways we call 5-LOX. You guys don't have to remember that. You just need to understand that Boswellia is like the kicker on the special teams, where curcumin is like the most valuable player on the team. Curcumin does so many things so well, but when it comes to kicking that field goal, you bring out the kicker, right?
Yep.
And so Boswellia is like the kicker. You bring the Boswellia out when you've got chronic inflammation on that particular pathway that looks like inflammation in the lungs, intestines, and joints predominantly. And so when you've got that soft tissue, silent inflammation, chronic inflammation in the lungs, intestines, and the joints, Boswellia works better than curcumin. Boswellia works better than any other botanical on the market. Boswellia doesn't have competition on the pharmaceutical market for that pathway. If you or someone you love or someone you know has chronic inflammation on those pathways, and it's representing itself as like allergies, asthma, bronchitis, COPD, ulcerative colitis, IBS, and digestive issues, or rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, and you go to your regular doctor, he's going to hand you a prescription for a steroid. And you take it. Why? Because you want to breathe, you want to live, you want the pain out of your joints, so you take it. But we all know none of us wants a steroid, because none of us, I don't care if you're into natural health or not, we all hate steroids, but we take them when it's our only solution. Now, I'm not telling you to toss out your steroid prescriptions, because you can't. You cannot come off of those cold turkey. You have to work with your doctor to come off of any prescription medication. Hear me loud and clear on that. Do not come off of your medications. But what I'm saying to you is that now, if you haven't gone on the medication or you are on the medication, you have a botanical that can support your body in a healthy inflammation along that pathway, so that you can work with your doctor to hopefully come off of your medication and resolve the underlying issue and support your body's natural inflammation response. Amazing?
That is amazing. It's like, what Terry has always preached is that the body can do what it's meant to do if it's given the proper tools. And, if we have a lifestyle that has promoted this silent inflammatory process, and I'm kind of like laughing to myself as you're naming the things Boswellia helps, that's pretty much all my customers.
Yep.
The digestive disorders are on a rampage,
Huge.
Anything with the lungs. I mean, I mentioned on a show a few weeks ago that COPD. I mean, I have 20-year-olds coming in with COPD, and it's really disheartening. And so, yeah, the Boswellia definitely, and frankincense too, just getting so much popularity. Like Jennifer loves selling the Boswellia frankincense combo, which I know we're going to get into the combos later, but it's just really, it has been overlooked for years, and I'm hoping that everyone listening is spreading this information, because it really is a game changer.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the frankincense oil combined with, so if you're looking at the Bosmed plus frankincense oil, and you're like, well, isn't Boswellia frankincense? Well, all frankincense is Boswellia, not all Boswellia is frankincense. It's usually in this country, we use the term frankincense oil for the essential oil extraction, and we use Boswellia extract for the standard extraction. Boswellia serrata is the most researched, either the oil or the regular extraction method. Here's the thing to remember. When you do an essential oil extraction and a regular extraction, remember what I said earlier, they're taking different roads. So you're covering all the different avenues to help bring that inflammation back in check, right? It even affects a cancer pathway, a genetic pathway called the 5-HTE cancer pathway for tumor activity. And so is that not insane that we actually are disrupting that activity at that level, supporting the body's natural functioning? So combination of the essential oil with the Boswellia is the beautiful heavy hitter of all around spectrum of all the benefits of Boswellia.
All right, beautiful. All right, well, I think I sidetracked you a little because we were talking about the cumin and the Boswellia in it. I mean, nattokinase, you want to cover that? That's the next ingredient, which I love. Another one that has definitely gotten overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely. When you, the nattokinase in the proprietary formula that's got the BCM95 curcumin, now called curcugreen, the Bos Pure Boswellia, nattokinase is just a small amount that's in there because nattokinase, I liken it to Pac-Man, right, Joanne?
Yep,
nattokinase
totally.
is like Pac-Man in the body gets going around eating up inflammation and scar tissues and things like that. Nattokinase has been used alternatively with people that are looking for a safer or different alternative for blood thinning activity. So the nattokinase in this formula is a very tiny, minute amount. So it's not going to cause a blood thinning action. It's not your natto supplement. Those of you listening, they're like, oh, I already take natto. It's not that level. It's just enough to enhance absorption of the other ingredients and to improve circulation and tissue damage. Then the fourth ingredient, remember I told you there are 4 ingredients. So you've got 2 botanicals. You've got the curcumin and the Boswellia in their proprietary form. Our curcumin is 10 times the absorption. Our Boswellia is 10 times the anti-inflammatory action of the Boswellia. So both 10 times more potent than any of the other competitive supplements out there. And then you add in this amino acid. Your body is amazingly created. This body, like when you have pain, and I know you're, again, I'm not going to be your number one fan because you're in pain right now, but when you're in pain, your body emits these endorphins that help you deal with pain, that are helping you deal with the feeling of pain.
Yeah, it's
but
called
your body
survival.
and your body is about checks and balances. So when these endorphins release, an enzyme comes in to keep them in check. Well, the amino acid DLPA allows those endorphins, your body's natural pain response, a longer hang time. So the DLPA is in there to assist your body's natural pain response.
I can't wait to get all this in me.
I know, right? And so let's talk for a minute. Now, the next thing that happens is we've got regular and extra strength. Those that are listening that have been with us for 10 years, we just had the regular to start with. That was the capsules in the regular strength. We now have the extra strength. The extra strength is a tablet. 1 tablet is equal to approximately 2.5 capsules. I love capsules. I take capsules. Some people like tablets. They're 2.5. Everybody likes extra strength and more, so they love those. Either of them are safe, effective, and easily absorbed by the body, because the next question I get is, do I take it on an empty stomach or a full stomach? And I'm like, it does not matter. Empty or full is not going to enhance or deter the absorption or action of any of those ingredients. Those ingredients are going to get in and do their job, food or no food. Make sense?
That not only makes sense, but how convenient, because so many of us, we get forgetful or busy, and it's like, oh, I didn't take my supplements, and it's nice to know you can just grab it anytime, anywhere, and take it.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Convenient.
And make sure you take it at least twice a day if you're in pain. I had a woman in Texas, because, I'm not only living in the Smokies now, I'm traveling around the country,
of course,
educating. And I was in Texas in a store, and I had a bottle of the Curemin Extra Strength in my hand, and this woman comes up, and she's like, I love that product. She's like, I wake up in pain every morning, and I take 1 of those Curemin Extra Strength, and I feel great. all day long. And you know me, Joanne, so
Oh
I
yeah,
looked at her.
I can see this going.
You know
yeah.
where this is going. And so I look at her and I'm like, you wake up in pain every morning? She's like, yeah. And I said, why don't you take one at night too? And she looked at me and the light bulbs all,
Yeah.
turned on. And she's like, great idea. Like, I would never wake up in pain. I guess I'm spoiled being, mentored underneath Terry for 10 years now, that I think being in pain or having low energy is intolerable. I cannot even fathom it. I would just take handfuls of the Curcumin if I were in pain until I got rid of my pain. I'm like, it's safe, it's
Exactly. That's
effective,
why
it's non-toxic.
I kind of feel a little ridiculous right now that we're talking about this topic and I wasn't prepared, at home. But it's definitely it's one of those things that, and I love how his books and his pamphlets are so well written and easy to understand, and he just spells it like out. You do not need to suffer. I mean, try these botanicals that have no side effects first before you end up doing a pharmaceutical. Like you said, once you get on pharmaceuticals, there's still hope and there's still a pathway to take, but it's just a little more challenging. So if you can try
Absolutely.
these first, that would be awesome.
And they check with your pharmacist, but I know of no contraindications or drug interactions. So if it's one of those things, we forgot to talk about brand new research. There is constantly, we went from 15, 17 years ago having, 6,000 research, 5,000, 6,000 research articles on PubMed on turmeric and curcumin. Today, there's 11 to 15,000 research articles. So for 10 years, and Joanne, 'cause I've known you this long, for 10 years now, we've been watching people get pain relief. We've been watching people that are battling with serious pain medications, not getting pain relief or wanting to come off of pain medications. By law, you have to work with your doctor again to come off medication. But when you look at the crisis in this country with pain and with prescriptions and what's going on in this country, and we've seen people get amazing benefits with the Curamed family of products with that. And I know it's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidants, neurotransmitting balancing. We've talked about all this before. But just a few weeks ago, a new research study came out of Europe that looked at our curcumin with the essential oils and identified the fact that our curcumin with the essential oils was able to inhibit or downregulate the pathway in the brain called the nociceptor site. And the nociceptor pathway in the brain is the pathway that the opiates attach to and shut down and downregulate.
Wow.
And so, can you
That's
say shut up?
impressive.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, so safe, effective botanicals that have synergy that keep your body in balance and homeostasis without negative side effects are working on the same pathways, but doing it in a safer fashion without contraindications and drug interactions. So there is hope. I guess if I send any message at the very end of this talk is there's hope. There is hope out there. Please don't give up. And please understand if you've tried a product that you did not get results from, maybe it was not fully absorbed in the body, maybe you were not taking enough. These products are safe, effective, and non-toxic. Do not give up hope. Your body is amazingly created. And if you put in the right ingredients and allow it the time it needs to recover, then your body will help you out in that fashion.
So well put. And we just have a few minutes left. I am going to let you choose the next product or topic because there's just way too many to ask you about in 3 minutes. So you go and take us to your next favorite.
Oh, well, let's talk about Devil's Claw really quick because you've got the Bosmed joints and probably the Curamin low back and those things. So when you go into Joanne's store and you see that there's all these ingredients there, know that the Bosmed joints and the low back have a very special Devil's Claw. For Terry, for over 40 years now, his Devil's Claw has always been standardized at 20%, where the rest of the country is only at 2%. And so Devil's Claw at 20% increases hyaluronic acid in the body by 41%, which is your cushioning throughout all of your joints. It's in your skin, it's in your joints, it's your cushioning. But most Devil's Claw in this country is only at 2%, meaning it does not do the same as the 20%. So just know if you've got like that pain in the joints and you feel like it's a bone on bone, you feel like you've lost the cushioning and support, go in and check out those products. Really quick, because you mentioned it when we were talking earlier, Saga Pro.
Oh, yeah.
When you realize that Terry travels all over Europe and brings ingredients and products that are prescription level products all around the world to this country, and you look at the fact of even overactive bladder and frequency and incontinence issues or urgency issues, and the prescription medications to get that under control can rob your body of acetylcholine, which is your brain food, right? And so you have to make the choice. Do I want to have frequency and urgency, or do I want to have dementia?
Oh my
and so you're like, what kind of trade-out is that, right? Like, do I want dementia, or do I want to have frequency and urgency? And so I'm here to tell you that there are natural alternatives that you can take that support and strengthen your bladder muscle and calm down the nerve activity for the urgency signals in a natural fashion without detrimental effect on the brain. That's Saga Pro.
Oh, and yes, and it's getting more and more popular at the store. You know, a lot of men and women are sharing their stories, you know, in their community, which, you know, is kind of a little bit tough. You know, hey, I was, you know, experienced frequent urination, and, you know, it's
nobody wants to talk about it.
No one wants to talk about it.
Here we are on the radio. We'll talk about it.
I know. Well, we'll talk about anything. All right. Well, Leslie, I just remember we have 1 minute. Sucrinitrol. Can you cover that real quick?
Yes. Hintonia latiflora, Sucrinitrol D. It is 60 years of research, and it has got 20 to 30 years around the world as a product formulation. It is new to this country. Terry brought it in. It has amazing clinical evidence of lowering A1C blood sugar levels and improving cardiovascular functioning. And so as little as 1, 2 to 3 times a day, with or without food, amazing results. An 11% drop in A1C can be as much as a 76% drop in diabetic complications.
Oh my God.
And when
You're
talking
so
complications,
awesome,
they're
girl.
huge.
You're so awesome. And we have a free book we're giving away about that too. Leslie, I love you. I love you. I love you. Enjoy living in your beautiful home and with your new man, and enjoy every moment. Miss you so much.
I love you. Have a beautiful day.
All right. Bye, sweetheart.
Archives of this show can be found on YouTube at WPSLTV.com.
Thanks, everybody.